So, welcome ladies and gents to my Pearlvibe channel. You know, we musicians, we can't play music because it's too dangerous to play without a mask. So what do? Well, we go into depression, or we become creative and we start building guitars. I've been building them for a long time, and ladies and gents, I hope that you enjoy my Pearlvibes. Before we go any further, this little excursion that we're going to take is dedicated to a wonderful, great musician, Paul Stafford Cook. We are into polishing. This guitar is in the process of being polished, okay? Looks like shit. That's what all guitar builders go through when they polish. So this guitar is going to get a glass shine, and it's going to sound great. So here we go. Now it doesn't look like shit. I think it looks damn nice. I build guitars around vintage guitars, the sound, the tone, the workmanship, the approach, but I try to make each guitar a work of art. I approach them like a painter approaches a blank painting, an easel. He takes his paints and he creates something, and that's the way I go. I go the route with all my guitars, and they get a name. This one will be called, or is called, Still Got the Blues. And guess who wrote that song? Paul Stafford Cook does a great version of Still Got the Blues. So, the side, we got some great mahogany here. Yeah. Notice the color combination. You've got green, dark blue, light green, turquoise, everything is in there. And you've got this abalone. I hope that this damn camera is capturing the abalone up close. Let me back up. Then the back, we've got some nice flamed maple done in the color. So I put a lot of work into this thing. She's also very light. She's a lot lighter than a normal Les Paul that weighs really upwards of 8 pounds. I think this guitar weighs in at 3.5 kilos, 6 pounds. She's light. She's light. Still got the blues. You notice the neck has not been polished yet. This is the way it comes off the after I just lacquer it. Got this wet, lacquery look. Headstock, still to be polished. There's my little Pearlvibe logo. This has abalone inlays. Just for the purists here, right? The neck is nice. Feels great. I think she's going to sound great because she's resonant. She's got a resonant light. So that's my first attempt at a Les Paul, and let me say, I'm not a Les Paul player, but Paul Stafford Cook has such great, he's got I think 2 Les Pauls, one with P90s and one with the PAF style pickups. We're going to be getting PAF style. He just inspired me. So Paul, you inspired me to build this. Been polished. It's just had the last coat of lacquer. I call this the Nifty Caster. I went and took it. And the back is, of course, flamed maple. What other builders put on the front of their guitar, I put on the back. And on the front, I just put this amazing white abalone. These materials were given to us by our creator. Almighty God, He created the beauty of something that's deep under the ocean. We take it out, we polish it, and we get something like this. And then we add color and, you know. I also have a neck for this. The neck is done. The neck is done. All my necks are deep flamed maple. Now, put it on. Will she fit? Yeah, she'll fit. She'll fit well. And that's what the guitar is going to look like. Mr. Inferno by Pearlvibe. Mr. Inferno. Now, who would not like to play a red guitar? Didn't Mark Knopfler say that red guitars play better? Yeah, he said that. And I'm sure if he knew about this guitar, John Ilse knows about these guitars. He signed one of my guitars. But if Mark knew about it, I think he'd want one. Because this is really red. It's red hot. Mr. Inferno. I took one of my first guitars that were a complete disaster because it was so heavy, but the wood sounded great. And I went in and I put on a nice flamed maple back, and I routed out cavities there to lighten the guitar and make it even more resonant. You can hear when you take it in your hand, you can hear it. She's light. Another nifty caster, if you take a close look at it, it's like a Telecaster, but I turned it more feminine, more like a beautiful woman. Take a look at those, look at that waist, right? And those hips. Yeah? More feminine than Leo. I don't think Leo liked women. He made his Telecasters to look, they look more like men. This one looks more like a woman. Of course, it's just my take. But I'm a sexist and a misogynist, so who cares what I say? Now, the cool thing about this, she's had a few attempts at polishing the top. I hope this color comes across. Now, just let me wipe the dust, the residue, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get these colors to appear on this cheap camera. There we go. Can we see some of those colors? Let me go in close. Now, if you don't believe in God, you will after you have this guitar in your hand. Because I don't believe in chance. I believe that things are there that have a structure. They are put there by design. And these colors here, they are not here by chance. I mean, why should a shell underwater that never will see the day glow in all these different rainbow colors? Right? So, do you know John Hartford? Gentle on my mind. Gentle on my mind. That's why she looks like a girl or a woman. John Hartford's song, and I remember it very well, 1970. Gentle on my mind. Oh, question. What would look better on this guitar? A dark neck? I have two necks. A dark red neck. Isn't that cool? Red neck. Flamed, of course. What looks better? Red neck or an auburn brown? Whoops, sorry about that. Keyboard, Mr. Keyboard. Or an auburn, I dream of Jeannie Brown. This neck is not very cooperative. Let me put it in there. All right. From the back, the neck fits really well to the flamed, right? We definitely have a good match from the back. Flames up here, or down here, and up here. The neck is, well, you won't find very many necks like this. Of course, a lot of work goes into it. Just rounding the edges. Very nice, great feel. Fast neck. I did some painting on it, so that's why we have the frets covered. So, I don't know. What do you think? Should I take the dark one, or should I take the light one? I definitely think that the light one looks better. But if you have a chance, give a comment. Tell me, light or dark? This was a strat from the first generation. I just went and redid the whole thing, but I left the beautiful old green deep sea abalone. I call it a deep green burst, right? And the back, my paintings, when I paint the backs, I call them, this style, I call it good vibrations. Good vibrations. I've got this vibrating style of airbrushing, all done with airbrush. Good vibrations. These strats sound good. Light, resonant. This is alder. Old wood. Old wood. So, ladies and gents, what else do we have? Well, in the back, these are finished guitars. I'm going to be demoing them on, well, some songs, some rhythm and blues. Well, this is going to be a typical, simple Telecaster. Well, simple. Telecaster, vintage pickups, vintage sound. The back is beautiful. Flamed maple, beautiful flamed maple, in fact, book matched. The covers are all in the same wood. So this has just been lacquered, no polishing or anything at the moment. Light, this is light. Resonant, a white abalone top is awabi, Korean awabi. It has different colors to it. And this is white abalone that I did a stain and deep airbrush red burst on it. Yeah? From black all the way down to red, orange, a little bit of yellow or gold in the middle. So this is going to be a great Telecaster. This is a wabi. A different shell, but it's also a wabi, but it's not quite as beautiful as the gentle in my mind. But I'm going to go and do a little bit of cleaning it. This is going to get one more coat of lacquer. First I'm going to cut it out, the pickup channels, and then I'm going to... But you can see it too, right? You can see the colors come to life. A wabi. The back has got this beautiful, gentle, pretty, nice light. Yeah, now it's focusing. So, focusing nicely, right? And this is the front. Also focusing nicely. I'm really very curious on how this guitar is going to sound in comparison to there's also a tele, but I gave this is a yellow gold abalone. Worldwide, you will not get this gold abalone anymore. I've tried it for over a year. Cost me a lot of money, and every time we got the typical green blue abalone, but the gold abalone forget it. I just can't find it. So, and I gave this a, what do you call it, a rustic style burst, yeah? On the back, again, some nice dark burst with some nice flamed figured maple. Just, yeah, it's a light, not super light, but medium light Telecaster. This one here was polished, had some preliminary polish job on it. I call this the ice caster. Ice caster. I give me a guitar. This is going to be getting a fingertips switching, right? Fingertip switching. 12 ways, all combinations of series and parallel, and then I think I'm going to be putting in 8 kilo ohms. This is a hand wound Fender pickup from an old Fender, and the back has, oh, I just went crazy with some airbrushing here, some fantastic airbrushing. Well, call it the ice caster. And she's going to be getting a really virgin white flamed maple neck. Just look at that. This is white abalone. This is what white abalone can do. Very subtle. It's not as wild as the other normal abalones, but it's very subtle. Reflection sensitive. If you make a mistake, you've got a dark spot, right? And then you have to go and take it out, because they all have to go, the pieces all have to look in one direction to have a uniform reflectivity. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. If you were in my shop and watched me working on this for a week, then you'd know what I'm talking about. The ice caster. So, ladies and gents, we are almost finished with our show. Thank you for tuning into my Pearlvibe channel. Take care, and don't be afraid of this scamdemic. Don't let them control your life with a scamdemic. Just my personal opinion.